That's good. Yeah, I decided to it's I don't know what to call it. I call it Tank All Star Weekend. Tank is outside and boxing is lit in New York City. It's lit all over the country. And I decided I want to bring someone in that I became a fan of watching him versus one of my guys, Caleb Plant. And I just want to get to know this guy a little bit. You know what I mean? And we're gonna get into that right after this. Trav, what's good, man? Welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I'm here joined by my guy right here, absolutely boxing. Uh,
Salute.
how you enjoying? I call it all week. What can we call this? Like Tank is what the biggest American fighter right now, right? So we got to call it
Okay.
something. Am I wrong? I mean, I can't. Am I?
I think Trevor McCUMBY is the biggest American fighter right now.
I know, but we all know what's going on this week, man. But you know, um, it's been interesting. Boxing is kind of lit this week, which is a good thing for boxing. I've been watching a lot of the pressers and stuff like that. They've been pretty interesting. Have you been watching the pressers, McCumbee?
Yeah, I've been watching. I saw some of it. You know, I think it's pretty interesting. So like I'm with Pro Box. So Lamont Roach. He's my guy. But it's gonna be a good fight.
I mean, a lot of people were disappointed when they heard the name Lamont Roach versus
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis. Um, a lot of people don't know who he is or whatnot. What can you tell us about Lamont, knowing you guys are in the same pro boxing, you guys, and that is your guy? And do you give him a shot? Because a lot of people kind of not giving him a shot in this fight. They're not as excited.
He's fighting Tank Davis, so it is. You're up against a lot, and I think Lamont Roach. He's been there. He signed with Golden Boy early on, and it's kind of like a tale of time, and it kind of reminds me of me and Plant. It's a little interesting because people, I actually signed with Golden Boy at the start of my career,
Yeah.
when I was 18 years old, and you know, pretty interesting dynamic there in comparison. But a lot of people don't know who he is. So it'll be interesting. It gives him a shot to really show the world if he is elite or not.
No, and it's interesting you bring up the fight with you and Caleb, because at the end of the day, like when I seen the fight with you and Caleb originally, just watching it, I was like, all right, they're trying to get Caleb back and stuff like that, and it got to the press conference and it got really like interesting, and I was like, oh, all right, I kind of like this guy, like Caleb is kind of coming at him different, and it was dope, and when you had the opportunity you showed the world, and it's kind of where Lamont is with that. And I thought that was up, and that's what made me a fan of you. Like just watching, and immediately in that fight, you gained the respect of Caleb, like immediately, like, within the first couple rounds. And I think that's
Yeah.
something that Lamont is gonna have to do in this fight. Um, I mean, walk us through it. Like when going, what's the mentality of being such underdog in that situation, and going into basically as kind of like feeding a lion a steak in a sense, and no disrespect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no disrespect taken. I mean, it's you really are that B side, but going into it for me anyway, it's I know I'm a great fighter. I a lot of these guys, and that's why I gotta give props to Pro Box. They find these guys like me that I was a great amateur, turned pro, and just had little you know things that happened in my career just as a human being, and everything else. Like, not everybody goes the same route as everybody else. So when I finally was gotten that opportunity, and I worked really hard to get that opportunity. I really wanted to show the world what I was about, and I had a lot of confidence in myself because I knew I was a great fighter. I had been through all the national tournaments and the amateurs, and I had sparred great pros, and just I had done really well. But when you're not really in that circle right away, or I was, but got out, and so it can be kind of tough. So I can kind of see where Roach is at, in his thinking. So I know he's gonna go out and give his absolute best, like, for sure. You know.
Hey, so Trevor, to dive more into that, I came across your Instagram page. Well, I looked at your Instagram page quite a bit before the plant, and then up until now. And I noticed on there the Bible verses you had, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. They're actually some of the ones that I hold near and dear to me as well. So to dive a little bit more in depth of being the underdog and going into the Caleb Plant fight, what were some of the thorns that you had in your side leading up to the Caleb Plant fight?
Well, I guess without getting too deep into it, just life stuff, life things, things you go through with your family, with uh, I don't know, inner turmoil, some, I don't like the word, but sadness or depression or whatever you want to call it, and
Yeah.
you really don't give yourself a fighting chance without moving forward and doing the right things. So that was something that yeah, I dealt with, and just finding God. Um, I give all thanks to Jesus Christ for giving me another chance to move forward. Those were, yeah, some of the things, but I love that you brought that up, man. That's one of my favorite Bible verses, and with that thorn in my side, I pleaded with God to remove it, but he kept it there for me to understand, and to be powerful in weakness, so.
Thank you so much for that, Trevor. And with all that, how does faith and family, how has that shaped your career at this point?
It's really changed everything. I look at a lot of, and it's something that I actually want to do, a little later, maybe even starting now, just helping some of the youth and, like, some of the young kids that are going into the sport, because it's Errol Spence just kind of talked about his kind of like some of his demons and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
a lot of these fighters, they don't really understand all that they're going into. A lot of just it's a lot. It's spotlight. It's dealing with promoters. It's dealing with managers. Dealing with people that are friends but really are not. So yeah, it's, man, to have God on your side. It's it's a game changer. It'll really change your life, and I want that for these young kids. I want that for anybody coming up, and even for people now. I want them to understand that it really changed my life, and for the better.
Speaking of Errol Spence's comments, right? So I seen he made a post earlier today, and I love Errol Spence. I'm a big fan of Errol, and you know there was rumors about stuff that he was going through and stuff like that. But I love when he has a post. He said something about his drinking, and going through what he went through in the fight, from being at the top of the mountain to everybody kind of kicking dirt on him. It kind of it kind of sucked, and especially with fighters. And it really, when I seen that quote, I felt it, because I'm like, damn, bro, like, this man definitely has went through a lot within these
Yeah.
last 2 years, And God bless him, bro. Real talk. And me personally, I don't even want to see him come back. And I said this in the earlier show, and it's not because I don't think he has
Yeah.
it, but I'm like, bro, like you've done everything you can do in this thing, and you have a beautiful family. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Forget that. And I think a lot of the outside elements do affect us, especially you guys being in the spotlight as boxers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, yeah, I kind of felt the same way, but every man has they have their will and what they want to do. So, if he does want to return, like, I hope he does. But, in the same breath, Errol, like, just telling him now if he watches this, like, you gotta look out for your family, look out for
Yeah.
yourself, and just be closer to God and find God, because I know he's a believer. So, it's this sport is not everything, and I have a lot of man. I know I'm a great fighter. I know I can do it. But when you find God and you know that with whatever you're going through, that you'll get through it, man, that just it changes everything.
Nah, I mean, and I love what you're saying. Man. It's dope because I can tell you've been through a lot. You know what I mean? And even through loss, to me, it was a big victory for you because I can't wait till you get back in the ring, bro. You made me a fan. Just your approach, bro. The way you laid it on the line, like and I feel like a lot of fighters will pity pat their way to a victory, or just not give their all. And even Caleb, you made Caleb take a step up, bro, that I've never seen him do, and it was dope, man. Like, and now I'm like, when I called you earlier, I think it was last night. I was like, bro, like I want to see you
Yeah.
against Berlanga. Like everybody's like, I can't wait till you come back, bro. Like and that's a blessing, and I think that's something that you have to look forward to. And I mean, absolutely, to tell you, I mean, everybody wants to know when are you coming back, bro. Like we want to see that. We want that smoke, bro.
Yeah. Man, I want to tell you, bro, like, that means a lot to me, and that's really why I'm fighting. Like, I don't have to. I can go do other things, but I love fighting, and I love being able to have a platform to, proclaim my faith and just let people know, like, you can do anything you want to do, and not only that, just inspire guys and like entertain. I want to have fun. I want to put on great fights. I want to give the best fights. I want to just inspire people. So yeah, man, like you saying that means really a lot to me. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back May, June, and yeah, it's gonna be a great year. We're really excited.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like there's anybody jumping at the opportunity to fight you because you're dangerous, dude. Like I watched when you put Caleb Plant down. I think the first time I seen it in his face, he was like, "Hold on, I didn't expect this guy to hit this hard." It was crazy, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, dude, like, and then you did it again, and it was just like, bro, you literally shocked everyone, and all eyes are now on you. And I think you're gonna be one of the most avoided fighters out there, man.
Yeah, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. I think people actually see like, oh, this guy he can't punch, and he's not coming to just get a payday. I'm coming to win, and I hope eventually. I've said it before. I hope eventually I can get a rematch, but I know Caleb's looking for bigger things, and rightfully so. But yeah, I'm really happy that I was able to show the world just who I am and what I can do. I'm a great fighter, and I started when I was 7 years old. So it's not a gimmick. It's not this guy's coming up and trying to be a marketing guy or this and that. Like I've been in the sport a very long time.
Like you can tell you truly respect that you're a true professional, and it's dope to see it, especially in an era where guys don't want to fight the best guys. People don't respect the belts anymore. it's become like you said, it's become to a point where we have what do they call those guys on the internet, the YouTubers becoming
Yeah.
the big draws. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy, man, that in such
Yeah.
a pure sport, it's not necessarily getting pushed by the purist, and it's going out of this country. It's the big a lot of the big bags are going to people that have never experienced what you've went through. And this is a sport you can die. How many fighters have we lost in like the last 10 years?
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
crazy.
Yeah.
so I mean, you know, you're like a throwback man to me, bro. I'll be honest. So, I mean, absolutely. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And Trevor, how has life changed since the planned flight, right? Because we see, right, before that, quote unquote unknown, and now it's like you're America's heartthrob. Like every single boxing fan if anybody knows boxing, they can't wait to see Trevor McCUMBY again. So how has things changed? More interviews, more popularity. How have you handled all that?
Yeah, more popularity. You know, I have gotten a lot more interview requests, stuff like that. I mean, it's been really great. I can thank PBC and thank all of them for giving me the opportunity to showcase my talent. I feel like there was a lot of people that didn't really believe in me, and I can appreciate them and ProBox and my manager Fernando Hernandez with Fairco Box. I can thank all them. It's it's huge. I mean, it's really changed a lot. I went to Walmart the other night and I was just wearing just like whatever, and it was like, hey, are you Trevor McCumbee? And I was like, man, it felt good to finally be known, because I know that the talent's there, and I know I'm one of the greatest fighters in my division. I know I can
Sure.
make great fights, so it really is. It's good, man. Yeah.
Tell us about Tenacious, your product line. What's going on with Tenacious?
So Tenacious, man, I felt like a lot of what I've been through just in my life, and I stayed persistent and I kept working hard, and I keep going no matter what, and that's how I feel in the ring. That's how I feel just in life in general, with my family, with my walk with God, with everything. I stay tenacious and all that.
Very cool.
At 168, right? There's some tough competition there. We all know Canelo has most of the belts, right? Do you feel like in the next couple of years you'll get that shot? And how will you get that shot to get the belt?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I would definitely. I think if when I go out and show out and put somebody on the canvas and get a win, I think I very well could get a shot at Canelo, but I've looked at a lot of these guys, and a lot of them are calling them out and this and that, and it's like whatever. I'm not. I understand. I understand how that goes. You're asking for that lottery shot, and as you saw with Berlanga, he got out there and just kept his hands up and moved around, and he went all 12 rounds, and it was Berlanga's the greatest in the world. So
Not for me.
that's another name. That's another name. I'd like to fight respectfully. His trainer Mark and I are pretty, I wouldn't say close, but we have a good relationship, so we talk, and we're both believers, and I know Berlanga is, so all good people, but when at the end of the day, it's about boxing, it's about entertainment, so hopefully one day we can get that fight. That'd be a great fight. I mean, we're both power punchers. I think a lot of people would want to see that fight. But yeah, pertains to Berlanga Canelo, it's I would love to take that fight. I think I'm too big. I think my my punching power and just everything. I think that I could pull that upset, but I'm not gonna sit here and ask for that fight until I solidify a great win.
Now you bring up Berlanga, and that's actually the first fight that I wanted to see, especially after watching the Berlanga Canelo fight. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't very impressed by the fight, to be honest with you. Again, I found it really weird when they celebrated after the fight that he lasted 12 rounds. I was like, they threw him like a parade. I thought it was crazy. But at the same time, I was just like, now that you got Canelo, I want to see you fight some dogs. And the first dog was you. I was like, you want Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's
Now
calling.
let's go. I mean, I feel the same way. That I mean, it should have been right away, but there's politics and this and that. So they want to do what they want to do. And you see who he's fighting. So
I don't even know who he is. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
yeah.
Yeah, William Skull is he's a Cuban fighter that.
No, I was talking about Berlanga. Who Berlanga was fighting? I don't know who he was
Oh,
fighting.
I don't even know he's fighting.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest with you, I would like you to see you fight Berlanga just to get what the boxing world would put on your record as a good win. I think you would destroy Berlanga. Berlanga has no boxing ability. He just started learning boxing. He was a knockout puncher all his career up until his last 5 fights. But you have been a boxer all your career, and you have power. So I want to see you fight Berlanga just to get that star power under your belt. But if I fall the fight out, I'm not putting my money on you. That's no question.
I want to see the fight. Period. I mean, look. I feel
I see for
like
the star, but McCumbly's going to destroy Berlanga.
no. I got McCumby winning too. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit. He's become one of my favorite guys to watch, especially watching him after the Plan fight. And like again, I feel like he's gonna bring it to Berlanga. And I feel like that's something that he struggled with when he fought Canelo. He kind of stood on the ropes most of the fight. And I think he can't do that versus McCumby because it'll look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like to do that back, you know what I mean? Like he has to get that win.
Trevor, would you entertain? And I know that you're a fighter; you'll fight anybody. Would you entertain fighting the young and up and coming guys, like Diego Pacheco?
Diego Pacheco,
or,
yeah.
Back to Mill, Mertizalia, but his name, Back to Bully. Like these young kids that are coming up and trying to make a name for themselves. Would you entertain slapping them young boys down right quick?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like you said, we're fighters and we'll fight anybody, but I guess it really depends on what they want to do, and I think I'm right there with any of those guys for sure. We'll make great fights, and I don't see why not. I mean, there's only a few players at this division, so
Yeah.
who do they want to choose to fight, and what can we make happen? I know my team. Everybody in my team is down to make anything happen. So I think a lot of these guys, they need to follow suit and do the same thing. Let's make these great fights. Let's make let's give the fans what they want. Let's actually make boxing great again. Let's do it.
How difficult is it though to avoid the politics? A lot of these fighters are protected. A lot of these guys have a lot of money invested in them, and a guy like you being such a threat, how difficult is it to actually make the fight or even get to the table with some of these guys that you should be fighting?
Yeah, it's difficult, but I think that a lot of them have to look at the landscape and go, okay, what direction are we going to go?
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of them are put into a pickle where it's like, okay, what guys can we actually throw on the card? And you look at even Plant. He, I think, is very selective on really he's gonna fight next. He's a former world champion. Now he's a interim world champion. So what is he gonna do? He's not gonna just step down and fight a Pacheco maybe, but it yeah, it's like you guys said, it's a lot of politics and what are they going to do? Which way do they want to go? So
It's funny because I hear a lot of fighters, especially if you're not with like one of the majors or, you're not one of the main guys. They might say, you know what, Trevor might not be in shape. We'll give him a 3 day notice or a 2 week notice. How frequent does that happen, and how offended, or has that even happened to you before? Because I feel like that's insane to me.
yeah, after my fight with Chris Pearson in January, I got a lot of crazy ones, like offering really low money for this and that, and that was pretty crazy.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, yeah, I would say now it's a lot better. But for sure, I mean, you're always going to be just sitting on your toes, seeing if this or that happens. But I think every fighter really should be ready within a few weeks. It is a little harder as you get a little older and you have a family, but you know, I think a lot of these guys they don't really treat their career like a career. But being on this side, it definitely is. It gives you a lot more to fight for.
Oh,
Yeah.
speak on Pro Box. I mean, I think Pro Box is super dope. I downloaded the app. They have like fights almost every 2 months, and you were explaining how influential they were in getting you into position. How great has Pro Box been? Because it's not really, and no one else really showcases a lot of these guys that they're showcasing. How great of a thing is Pro Box TV right now?
Oh, it's great, man. I mean, you look at me, Lamar Roach, even Hot Rod. Hot Rod had his fight with Morrell. They're giving guys a new chance to get out there, and they have good relationships with a lot of promoters. So it's great. They're bringing in these guys and they're giving them an opportunity that they probably wouldn't have had with anybody else.
Trevor, do you remember that fight between Morrell and Hot Rod? How well do you remember it? Do you remember it?
Decently. I think I watched the first 6 rounds or something like that.
Yeah, I put a post up when that fight was over. I thought that fight was more closer to a draw than how that. I think Hot Rod did pretty well against Morrell, and Morrell won that.
Very well, yeah.
He won by unanimous decision. In the scorecards where the judges were way far apart, like giving Morrell like 8-9 rounds or something. I was like, that's absolutely crazy. But yeah, Hot Rod, that's a good one to bring up. When you're in a fight, Trevor, what do you think fuels you more? The thrill of victory or the fear of losing?
So I in my younger years, I would say the fear of losing. That was always on my back, always. Just growing up, it was always, you win or you die, and that was something that I just grew up with. My dad was authoritarian, and he really wanted me to win. So yeah, growing up like that. But I would say around the time when I was like 26, 27, I found God, and I realized I didn't need to have that fear anymore. I need to go out there and have fun and do what I do. Obviously, I'm very competitive. I want to win every single fight, but just not really having that fear of losing anymore. Like, it's at the end of the day, it doesn't define me. Boxing doesn't define me, but I'm going out there to win no matter what.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're speaking about new people or people making an impact in boxing, pro boxers doing their thing. What do you feel about Turkey Al-Sheikh and what he's doing Riyadh season right now?
It's another great thing. For me, it's great for boxing. It's amazing. I mean, would we have had any of these fights that we've had? Uh, you know, think about it 5 years ago. Would we have had these fights? Maybe, I don't know, even earlier than that. Would we have had these fights? I don't think so. So,
No.
whether we can nitpick and say, oh, well, it should be in America or it should be here or it should be there, we got these fights and we saw them and they've been great. And I mean, this last card, they put on, I felt like should have been generated from a AI video game. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
They were they were great fights. So I think what he's doing for boxing is really good, and he's finally getting these fights to happen. And I mean, look at what was just announced. So I think it's good.
We talk about the Times Square thing? Is that what you talk about?
Yeah. All the 140 pounders. It's you got
The
you got
WBC, yeah, the
yeah,
WBC.
you got Haney, Teofimo,
And Ryan and Roland.
Ryan, Rolly.
Ryan, yeah. Crazy.
No,
That's crazy.
I don't know how they're gonna pull it off at Times Square. First of all, it's a free event anywhere in New York City. It's not gonna be successful.
Is that real?
Yeah, I don't know. I seen a post today when they asked him. He kind of just he let people think what they want, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Not no free
Yeah,
event in the middle of Times
I
Square.
saw that. I saw that it was free, and I said, "What?" So that's just gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know how that all works, but man,
I have no clue how that's gonna happen. But has Turkey reached out to you? Have you had contact with possibly going, or do you have interest in going to Riyadh season?
I would definitely have interest to go over there. I haven't really heard any news, anything on that. My manager right now, he's over there with Rocky Hernandez tonight, so I gotta tune in and watch that fight. But yeah, we're gonna talk soon and see what happens. But yeah, I'm definitely down to go over there and put on a show. I think it would be a great fit.
I mean, definitely, especially they want people to lay it on the line like you. I know he's been dealing with a lot of controversy as well. Some people, like you said, some people think it's great, some people don't think it's great. And recently, the thing with the scorecards came out. What was your take on the scorecard? What do we call it? Scorecard gate, Turkey gate? I don't know what it was. What was your take on it as a fighter? How do you feel about it? If you were on the opposite end of that.
I don't know. All I can say, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Did he actually know the scorecard? Did he feel like he was down to? I don't know. It's I feel like it's hard to say. It's you could definitely see that. Well, maybe he's, looking at scorecards and, he has control. He has control over the commission and this and that. But it's hard for me to say. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't really know who was involved with the commission. I mean, were they brought in from different parts of the United States, from different countries? I would like to do. I would like to. What's that?
It was the British Boxing Commission.
Yeah.
Oh, it was okay. So yeah,
So,
like
Trevor, I'm with you. Trevor, I'm with you because I think that Turkey Al-Sheikh is his first language, right? Is Arabic. It's not English. English might not even be a second. Might be his third or fourth or fifth. We have no idea how many languages he speaks.
Sure.
I believe it was lost in translation as far as Nobody. There's no video of him looking at scorecards. There's no it's all speculation. He might be saying you're down 2 points, not realizing that he's saying judges score, but he feels like, look, I feel like you're down 2 rounds. I think you're going to lose. Like you, because he was rooting for his boy Shiraz. So, and that's fine. You want to root for him. I think he was just trying to cheer him on because there was two. It was after the 10th round. There was 2 rounds to go. He felt like Shiraz needed to win the last 2 rounds in order to win the fight or to get a draw or whatever. So I just think it was lost in translation. So it's speculation.
It's funny because I was watching Tank talk about it, and Tank was like, "Well, that's the reason I didn't want to fight Devin Haney out in Saudi because that's his man." And so what do you think about what do you think about Tank's comments on it?
Could I bring this up though?
Bring up whatever you want, brother. It's your stage. Let's do it.
Better Biev won the first fight.
Yeah.
And that wasn't his guy. He wanted Bivol to win. So, I mean, people got to look at that too. And I don't know. I'm very slow to judge anything that I see on social media or anything that I hear about anybody because it's like we can't live our life like that. We can't live, judging who did this, who did that, and so I love bringing that. I love bringing up Better Bia because if Turkey was really controlling everything, I mean, wouldn't he have just had Bivol win the first one? So
it was though weird though that it was a pro Bivol crowd. Like I was sitting there when they started cheering Bivol. I was like, how did that happen? Like I thought this was Saudi Arabia. It was kind of crazy.
And I mean, I think you look at a lot of different stuff. I think a lot of things probably were on his side, but obviously the judges, they chose who won the fight. So I really don't think there's too much corruption going on, but who knows? I mean, who knows?
I did find it weird that the WBC mandated Benavidez to fight him next. I thought it was going into a third fight, which you don't think the third fight's gonna happen before the Benavidez fight?
No. Me or Trevor?
Both of you guys.
The trilogy has to happen. Benavidez is not fighting Bivol next. The trilogy has to happen first.
Yeah.
WBC can beat it, dude. No.
Yeah.
No, fair.
I mean, yeah, let's look back even like 4 years ago. WBC has been mandating things since forever, and you don't get I mean, I don't say you, but the fans don't always get what they want. WBC doesn't always get what they want, and they can mandate all they want. But I think the trilogy has to happen. I think it will. Although I did hear a lot of things about Beterbiev not really caring to come back. So
really?
Yeah. He didn't want to. He didn't want to rematch you this time. Like Beterbiev wanted to be one and done. He didn't want to rematch, but he had to take it. So.
Yeah, I mean,
which that folklore is really interesting because it's like, okay, and then we go back to, the corruption. Like, is there money or what's going on there? But and again, that's all just speculation. Who knows? But I think Beterbiev will take the fight. I think the money is very, very good, and I think that's what's going to happen next. And I think we'll probably put it on me, but I think we're going to get Benavidez, Callum Smith next.
Yeah, I think that's the more likely fight as well with Benavidez and Callum Smith. I think it'll be a good fight, and I think it'll kind of, it'll give Benavidez more of a springboard too to promote to get to that big fight. This weekend's fights in Brooklyn. We got Rayo, right? He's fighting Russell.
Huge fan of Rayo.
What do you think about that fight? Who do you got?
I got Rayo by unanimous decision. I think he'll outbox. His boxing ability. Just watching that Cruz fight was amazing. he put on a beautiful master class, and I give him a lot of props for that.
What other fights we got on that? I don't know the other ones. I know it's
We got Yanni Telez, the that's also that's 160. It's not 168, is it? Julian J. Rock Williams.
Yep.
9
And
0.
then
Yanni Telez 9. Yeah, Yanni Telez 9 0. He's up and coming young bull that's been knocking out all the heavy hitters at 160, and now he's going to take on Julian J. Rock. What do you think, Trev?
yeah, I think I'm gonna give the vet, J Rock. I'm gonna give him the nod. I think he's got it.
I'm from Philly, Trev, and Julian J. Rock Williams is Philly's own. So I'm with you, Trev. I'm with you, Trev.
the main event. Tank versus Lamont. How do you think that pans out?
Unfortunately, I told a few of my buddies today, I think Tank is too much. He's gonna stop him before 8. So
Do you think this Tank fight one of the people that everybody's saying, whether it's Shakur, whether it's Keyshawn Davis, whether it's Teofimo, out of those, I mean, if anybody, who do you think, or do you think he fights any of those guys?
I want to see him and Shakur.
Even with the hands,
But,
the bad hands.
I want to see him and Shakur. I think Shakur has the best ability out of all of them to outbox him. That's my opinion. Yeah, Teofimo's my boy. I don't see the power, man. The power. I don't see it happening. I just don't. You gotta have a guy that can really box well. I think Frank Barton was doing well, but he just started to kind of slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You need a guy that can move for that long and really outbox him. So that's the guy that I think is like number one to beat Tank.
What do you think the likelihood of that actually happening is, or it doesn't happen?
It's hard to say. It's just politics, man. I don't know because I know Tank doesn't want to. He's had very strong words with that other side. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
I feel you. Nah, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. And you're like super humble, dude. Like compared to like watching you in the ring, it's like night and day, dude. Like you're an animal in there, bro. And then you just real reserved. I definitely appreciate
Hey,
it.
thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Nah, I appreciate you, man. I can't wait till you come back. Oh, you can say something, absolute.
Well, one last thing to close it out. If one more question to close it out. If boxing fans could take one thing from your journey so far, what would it be?
If boxing could what?
If boxing fans could take one thing from your journey so far, what would it be?
Tenacity, resilience. That's what I would say. I mean, you have to. I kind of compare. It's a great analogy, just boxing with life. It's especially boxing, man. It's a roller coaster. You have ups, real high peaks, real low lows, and people just need to realize that a lot of fighters. I would say all fighters go through those peaks and those lows, and even when it comes to sparring, training, this and that, and just keep going, keep moving forward, stay strong, and love God and love your life, and keep moving forward because there's always better days ahead.
Absolutely. Hey, Norbs, before you close it out, I would just like to tell Trevor, it has been an honor and a pleasure. You are a truly humble man, and you're a great competitor. You're an entertainer, and I thank you for answering my questions. And I cannot wait to see you scheduled in that ring again, please.
Nah, definitely. I can't
Thank you,
wait.
brother.
I can't wait to see you scheduled. Hopefully it's Edgar Berlanga. I want to see you bring it to that young man. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing another Caleb Plant rematch. And for some strange reason, I think you are gonna get Canelo. I just have a feeling. I don't know what it is, but listen. I think it might happen, man. But I definitely appreciate you, man. You got my number. Anytime you want to come on, whatever. Hey, man, you got my support 1,000%. I appreciate you, my brother.
Man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. I had a great time talking to you guys. If you want to shoot me your Instagram, I want to shoot you a follow, and let's get together and let's talk. And anytime when I get back on, let's do it.
Yeah, and the next fight, let us know, man. I'll definitely pull up, man. Definitely.
Man, thank you guys for the support.
All right, brother.
All right, thank you, man. All right, God bless you guys.
God bless, brother. God bless. That was my man, TREVOR McCUMBY, super humble cat. You can't help but cheer or root this guy on. I'm super excited to see, where he takes it from here on out. It's your boy Norbs. This is the Norbs at all. Actually, this is the 10-8 podcast, and I'm out of here. Appreciate y'all. Absolutely, my guy. Nah, you the man. Don't even hang up on my